everyone, welcome to Heart Conversation, and this is your host Yolanda Mahai. First of all, before I do anything, I just want to thank you. Thank you so much for watching our videos. Thank you so much for sharing and liking and sending comments. So others they send the comments via WhatsApp. Anything. It's okay. It's fine as long as we get your feedback and how you feel and how it has impact on your life. So that is more important. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And keep on sharing each and every video, that we have so that we can learn from each other. And today we have a guest, a beautiful friend of mine. And
all right. So, hi everyone. Thank you so much, Yolanda, for giving me such an opportunity on the Hearts to Hearts conversation. I'm so excited to be here. And I go by Elizabeth Piri, and I come from heaven. That's my country.
Yes.
And you can call me Liz. So I'm a child of God. I love God and I live for Him. So basically, that's who I am.
Thank you. So today we're gonna have an interesting conversation. So I thought, you know what? Instead of me catching up with her, privately, let's just share, because she was like, you have no idea what has been happening in my life, and there's a lot. There's great things, wonderful things, too much growth has happened in your life.
So much.
I can't wait to hear. And I'm sure everyone is so hungry to grab everything that you want to share today. Because she said, you know what, I would like to share this. And I was like, okay, that's great. So
right.
yes, let's catch up. I want to firstly hear about the love life.
Okay.
That I didn't even know about. I didn't even know that someone caught feelings.
I'm telling you, it's a beautiful thing to fall in love. Yeah, so guys, for my story, please grab your popcorn and get ready. It's quite interesting. Okay.
Very interesting.
So let me start with, it was in 2020 when everything started. So I met this human being. Actually, it was via WhatsApp, and we were interacting there. Okay, it was a man of God, to be precise. It was a man of God, and we were interacting on WhatsApp, and everything was going fine. So during that time, that person was married. Okay. And then around July, we met in 2020, like around January, and then July, the marriage ended.
Okay. His marriage
ended, and he was so heartbroken. And I happened to be one of the people that was quite close to him.
Okay.
So during that process, when he was crying and getting heartbroken every day, when he thinks about everything, it was just a very sad moment. I remember there are times I would call him and he's literally crying, but he would pretend as if he's not. Yes, it's fine. So fast forward, as I kept on checking on him with other people,
so it was a circle of friends.
It was a circle of friends, basically, but mostly like church members who were like leaders under the ministry he was ministering.
Okay.
So fast forward to December. So December, he was hosting a conference where he lives, in the city where he lives. So me and my other people, the friends, we traveled to where he is, just to also support and just experience the conference. Actually, it was my first time to be in a conference, like literally attending a conference. And it ran for about 3 days.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was an amazing experience, and I met new people. We did a conference. It ran after 3 days. Came back where I was staying in Cape Town, and then the following day he called me, and then he was like, "Okay, I want us to have a catch-up meeting."
Okay.
because I'm thinking you must be my PA. So I was like, oh, okay, that would be fine. So the meeting was on Google Meetings at 8 o'clock. 8 p.m. I log in and everything, the meeting started. Before that, let me just say this. That morning, he first asked me a question on WhatsApp chat saying that what type of a man would you desire in your life? So I told him, and then he started asking me what if that man has got children, and I told him, okay, I have never ever desired for a man to have children, my husband to have children before I get married to him, or he gets married to me. And then he's asked a question to say, what if he has children and the children will only be visiting while you guys are married? So I was like, okay, I've never thought of that, but my prayer that I pray to God is I should be the first woman to him and he should be the first man to me. That's the prayer that I prayed. And then
first woman in a sense of that you'll be the first person getting pregnant.
And being the first wife.
On the first wife.
Yeah. Yes, okay. And him being the first husband to me.
Okay.
Yes.
So which means not a divorcee.
No. Okay. No. So I later asked him, are you interviewing me or what? He just laughed. And now the evening came, we had the meeting. And after the meeting, so what happened in the meeting was I was trying to create a schedule for him on what he's supposed to do daily and what time he's supposed to do to counsel people, also prayer, even though he has to spend time with God in the morning. So after we were done, and then he tells me, I still want to talk to you. And I'm like, oh, okay. Then he says, I love you. I was shocked. I didn't believe that, hearing that from him. And then he repeated the same words. He said, I love you. He mentioned my name, Elizabeth. I was like, wow. Okay. So I told him, you know what, this is quite huge for me to hear from you, and I need time to process it. So thereafter, actually I was sitting, I was in the lounge when we were doing that meeting. So I had to take now my machine to the bedroom. And then he wanted us to talk from that moment until the following day.
Okay.
And we spoke from that moment until the following day around 5 a.m. Yeah. He said that he wanted to see me, fall asleep and everything. So yeah.
Wasn't that weird?
It was, but for me I was confused. Like very confused. I was trying to really understand if actually this is a reality, you know, because first of all, I've never thought of being a pastor's wife. Like, no, I've never thought of that. And I also know that pastors' wives, they really go through a lot of stress. So for me, I said, this one, it's not my office, it's for certain people. So yeah, so in the morning I had to sleep, and also he had to sleep.
So you guys chatted, you had a chat?
Yes.
The whole
on Google meetings.
Google meeting, just the two of you?
Just the two of us.
Okay.
And yeah, I slept because I obviously had to wake up around 8 and work. Yeah, so I woke up around 8, and actually what happened, he didn't even end the call because I fell asleep. He didn't even end the call. And when I woke up, I was still able to see him was still sleeping in his bed. But anyway, so that kept
weird. So basically it's like a camera.
Yes, it was like a video thing that was just going on. Yeah. So that kept on happening for a couple of days while he's still pursuing for the answer, like I really need to get the answer if you still accepting me into your life and what. So I told him, listen, this this whatever has just happened is still new to me, and as I said, I still need to process it. And also, you must understand that you were a different person to me before this happened. So now you coming to me, I understand you're a human being, but it has to shift a lot of things in my brain and how I see you, you know. So it's a process. And then every day the messages he send me, he tell me how much he loves me, how beautiful I am, and all those things. But I was still confused, and I felt like I needed to speak to someone about it. So these were his words. He said, God told me that you're my wife. Like literally, he said those words repeatedly, a number of times. And like, I'm so confused. Me being a pastor's wife, really. And what confused me the most was that if God truly gives what your heart desires, not that he's a bad person, he's not, but I have never ever desired for such. So why would God give me such? At the same time, this human being has been in my life for quite some time, and what God tells him usually comes to pass. It's true, you know. So I was confused, and that.
So you did get divorced?
He didn't. They were just went on separation. Okay, and then so I asked him a question. If you are saying that you want to marry me, are you divorced? Is the woman you are with still using your surname? So he told me that we agreed that she should not be using my surname, and the divorce process has already been started but by 2021 it should come to an end. Okay. Now this whole thing is happening after 4 months of the separation. Okay. So for me, I had so many questions because it was a rebound. At the same time, you know, when you are in that position as a pastor, you can't just go for anything.
Especially if you were hurt, because he's been crying. Was he healed?
That was the thing. So with him, he claims he was. Okay. That he was healed. But for me, I had so much fear in terms of, as I was processing this thing for me to give him an answer. What if it fails? And then now he has to also remarry, and I have to also remarry. And I just didn't like that. For if I even find myself having kids with him, you know, me to move into also a single life space again with my children, and then he has got kids on the others before this. He had kids, so it's just confusing, you know, especially for my kids. I had that worry for them.
So you're already looking forward, like when you have kids and all of that. Wow.
Fast forward, 31st came and he still didn't get the answer, because what he was saying was that I really want to know if you are my wife. I want to go into 2021 knowing that I have a wife. So I gave him an answer, but that answer wasn't stating whether I'm in it or not. It was in between, and he rejected it. So he said that you are still confused, and for sure I was. So we went into 2021. New Year's Eve, they were still having our talks, that's video call, and then because he was now becoming, you know, a sad person. Like each time we are conversating, he's very sad because he says I carry his happiness, you know, and all that. So now I got into a place where I love this human being as a pastor. You know, that's someone who
mentors you.
Yes, but there was nothing that I felt for him in terms of love in those lines. Okay. No. So now I had to accept him in my life. That was, I think, in January 2021, and because of sympathy. I accepted him because of sympathy. I was feeling that every time I see him, I feel so sorry, and it's like I owe him something, that happiness. So I accepted him. He was very excited. I tell you, he was very excited. And I became sad. Yes, there was that shift. And it was very serious on my side because I started feeling that not misery but emptiness, in terms of, it's like I've given a right to someone into my life, yet I'm not really happy about it. You understand? So for a week I was battling with that. And yet, he would call me all sorts of names, beautiful names. He would call me like literally everything that I want to hear.
Those sweet names.
Yes. And now I started processing this. I've said yes to this human being. And he was saying we should get married by March. Okay.
And he's already divorced.
He said the divorce process has started, but it will only finish up until end of 2021.
So we will get married before the divorce. Okay.
So now I started processing it in terms of finances. I was the only one who was working, and he wasn't working. And not that I blame him, he surrendered everything he was doing for the ministry. Okay. So, but I knew that he was struggling when it comes to finances, and I had fear for myself and my children. Because I do trust God helps, but we have to also face the reality. You understand? And at the same time, I was able to fund me, but if I have the other person, and marriage is a covenant, it now changes everything. So looking at the little that I was earning for two people, and I was asking a lot of things. I asked him, so if we get married, what are your plans in terms of children? Because I want to have my own children. Yeah. And also it's not easy, you must understand that it's not easy for me to raise up children that have found there's a foundation that has already been created in their minds, and I have to continue from that because you have children. So he said that the kids will be visiting us once in a while, but you don't have to worry about it. God will grant you grace and everything like that. However, for me, it was still a worry, and when I think about my family, how they would take it, it was also a worry. Not that he's a bad person, but just the whole thing of getting into a third marriage now, and with me. So yeah.
So that's his third marriage.
It was his third marriage, yeah.
It was gonna be a third marriage.
Yes, yes. And now I also asked him, okay, because you are not working, if we get married, how are we going to prevent us from getting pregnant? What do you think? I had to ask all those questions because I didn't want to make, if I can call it a mistake, or just to do things out of without no planning and everything. So yeah, but this mindset of God is going to provide and everything, it's not realistic to me, but I do believe in God so much. But also
you want to see something happening.
Yes, tangible, Yes. And now I remember I was able to tackle things now that were very deep. So God started revealing certain things about his life, past, some present, even about his children, like in dreams. And also I started seeing visions, like he's hurting and it's just getting out of hand. So I asked someone who was close to him. It was this guy. I told him, listen, you really have to check up on him like regularly because he's not okay. Yeah, and now that in that same moment, I was angry with God myself. I thought he was so unfair to give me such a man, because now what I felt was like I've caused this upon him, and now he's going out there and he's now going insane because I told him what I told him, you understand? And yet God said he's my husband based on what he told me, and I can't believe it, you understand? So I was very angry with him. Why would he give me such a human being? You know?
Don't you think the dreams and the visions that God was showing you was warning you?
So then I did not understand it in that way.
Okay.
I understood it in a different way.
Okay.
And then, I remember he called me this other day and he told me that, are you sure about your decision? Because I really love you. I still love you. And I told him, yes, I am sure about my decision. And he said, okay, fine. And you must know that from now on, no going back. You can't come to me and tell me you love me and everything like that.
That's what he said?
Yes.
Okay.
Because I also have to what? To move on. Okay, fine. But we remained as friends and would still talk on awkward hours, but just as friends. There was nothing like him addressing me as beautiful, as whatever. But we would just talk, even funny things. But there was no video things like that. Just
a
text.
call.
Yes,
or text and calls.
Yes. So now, March, I didn't know that he's pursuing another woman.
Okay.
Yeah. So I carried on with the awkward times with chat and everything. So he's busy pursuing that woman, praying. According to him, was praying for a new wife now. So, but that's the only thing he told me.
So probably God made a mistake when he said that you.
So now I was now looking for help. Like I needed help from other people. So I shared this story to people that are matured, have been married before. Some are not. Yeah, and they advised me, you need to pray, because they have been married before and they know what marriage is about, you know. So you just told me you need to pray about it. Yeah. And then he came here in April, we were still, in April I actually accepted him now to be my husband. So
Again?
Yes,
okay.
I accepted him. So I now approached him myself. I told him, myself.
Yeah.
Yes, myself, confidently. And I told him, I've accepted you now. I've processed everything. And yes, you are my husband. I believe it. And maybe we can start now, right?
Okay.
So he agreed, and then he dropped it after a week. He said, this thing, we are going to break up again in the near future, so let's just end it from now. Okay. But me, because of the words he said that God told him I'm his wife, it was in my head from since that day. And him being a person who would pray for me, and God says there's a job that's coming and it comes, it was something that
you trusted him.
Yes, I trusted him.
You believed him.
Yes, I was vulnerable to him. I was whatever. He just felt like a safe space. So there was that attachment and everything in those lines. So he came here in May, and we had a conference, and Yolanda should have seen me the way I was dressed up.
Yes, girl.
Like a pastor's wife. You should have seen me like a pastor's wife now. I was dressed up. I was by the pulpit there and everything. I'm telling you, I was there by the pulpit, and I'm there telling the people about my experiences and everything, testimonies, praying and everything, you know. So he was in a room and I would go there and check on him if he's doing fine, doing duties. I was battling that time with my own mind, and he had denied. Yeah, so he went back to where he at the conference ended, then he flew back to his city where he stays. Thereafter, I continued with the text and everything, but he became distant, But I didn't know that he's pursuing another lady. So this other day, I decided, you know what? I think I need to visit this guy. So I told him on such a time, that was in October, I'll come where you are, so that I can, make your house beautiful and everything. But my intention was just to go and talk to him so that he can,
like face to face.
Yes. Yolanda, that message that I sent, he sent it to this woman. That woman sent me a message with the exact context of what I sent him. Now I wondered, where is she getting all this? And then she's like, why do you want to get, because I wanted to get beddings for him. Why do you want to get beddings for him and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I remember very well the time we went, he had a conference, we went there, he surrendered his room for us. The people he trusted, where he was sleeping wasn't good. So I thought I must get this, because I assumed she doesn't know anything what transpired. Okay. So, and then she responds to say, okay, let me get back to my chatting. That was around 11 p.m. He mentioned his name without the title. And now, for me, it was a complete puzzle now put together. I knew that, okay, this is what is happening. Yolanda started crying. I was hurting so much.
Oh man.
I started crying so much. And I called him, and now I wanted to ask him, like, did you really have to send this message to her? Why did you tell me that you're seeing someone else? I'm not, you know me very well, I'm not that kind of a person who would really pursue a man if you tell me that there is this person. So he is like, when I called him, I think they were on a video call, something like that. So he picked up and then it's like, hello daughter, how are you? Can we talk tomorrow because it's late now? Wow. Okay.
The water.
Yes.
And the line.
So the following day I waited. I didn't even sleep, Yolanda. I was crying even in my spirit. I even had a dream like I'm stabbing him with a knife. I'm telling you, I was that angry. And then the following day I called him around 11, he's not answering. I tried so many times, he's not answering. Then he answered. Then I started asking him, so you started pursuing that lady and you did not tell me, and you thought I'm whatever you think, and I'm sure you have told her about me and she has a different impression of me, you understand? Yet she doesn't even know me, but because of what you've told her. Then he said, I'm fasting, I can't say anything.
Okay.
I said, okay, fine. I told him you're in denial, and which means it's the truth what I'm telling you, but it's fine. So from that day, I started praying every evening for 3 hours. That praying was crying. I was crying every single day. I don't know for how long. I wasn't even eating. I had no appetite. So what happened to me, I felt like I invested so much love and time in processing everything, and I accepted him into my life, and my conscience, everything accepted. And then that happened. So it also proved to me somehow like he not God is fake, but his words based on what God told him that I'm his wife. Because if truly you're a man of God and God has told you like this, which means you are going to pursue, or maybe you just start praying until that thing, maybe it comes back to you saying this because God showed you that, and you truly believe in God, you understand? So that bothered me a lot, and I was hating so much, Yolanda. I was hating so much until this other day. I remember I prayed. I said, God, if you are truly in heaven, come down and hug me. I was in tears. I didn't share this with anybody for days, actually for months. And then I felt this peace I've never felt in my life. Within seconds, I never felt that peace ever in my life. I felt it, and I was, I had my handkerchief, it was all wet. And I felt the love, from him, like really, 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 truly. That is the day I became very serious with my life in God. And it also drew me from looking for men, not only men as in men, but human beings, to define who God is to me.
Sure.
But me seeking him and finding him, and then like dwelling just where it really, really feels like it's him, and then getting that assurance of strength, love, hope, peace, and everything, and you rise and do what you need to do. So it was that. And in that process, you know what God did? He said, take your phone and send him a message. I don't even know how I grabbed my phone and I sent him a message. I said, I have forgiven you for what you have done, and I wish you well for everything that you have done. You have taught me a lot. As a man of God, I have learned, and truly he did. He taught me how to pray and everything. Yeah, but with everything that happened, I have forgiven you and you enjoy your life. Then he told me, the fear of the Lord, have the fear of the Lord in everything. And he said, the fear of the Lord is a remedy to life. Okay. So
did you understand what he said?
I did.
Okay.
So from that now, that lady, it's like she had so much wings to a point, making me feel small in the ministry. I was still there in the ministry, but I wasn't active. But she made me feel like now the mama is here, the pastor's wife is here, who are you, and everything. And my aunt was also in that ministry, but she was seeing how she was behaving, and she would ask me, but I couldn't tell her. I was still in a place where I know if I tell her, she's going to approach the pastor and fight, all the drama. So I wanted it to be, I needed to heal myself first, then I can explain it better to her. So now, in that process, they planned to get rid of her.
Who now?
Then the pastor and the student. So
the pastor and the wife
yes,
wanted to get rid of your aunt.
Yes, because she was leading the women's ministry.
Oh, okay.
So what was happening now was, for her, they were taking up authority from her so that they can give it to the lady.
Okay, the wife.
Yes. Now, in that process, Yolanda, I felt I wasn't loved. I was struggling with that. I felt like I had lost a man that God really ordained that this is mine. And I felt I wasn't beautiful. I felt I wasn't enough. I was struggling with that. Even just to upload a profile picture on my WhatsApp, I didn't feel that I was that woman that God created. I was still battling with that. While I'm still, reuniting myself with Him. Yes. And I had so many questions, especially when it comes to men of God, because of my experience and who God is. I really battled with that so much. I asked myself questions: was he even true to me?
Oh God.
No, is that man of God?
Was he true to you?
Yes. Okay. And was he truly listening to God?
That's what you believed.
that's what I believed at first, because even the job that I have now, it's him who prayed for me to get it. Like, okay, I was praying too, but I know he did. There's some things that he prayed for it to literally come to pass. I know that. So it gave me so much belief. Like, I was depositing the belief every day based on the things that were happening, and then eventually I knew that he's true. Yeah.
Okay, I hear you. I
Yeah.
hear you. So you trusted that God
Yes,
is using him. Okay,
yes, to
okay.
speak to me.
To speak to you. Okay.
Yes.
But you were not believing in him.
I was.
As if like now whatever that he says, it happens. Not like everything comes from God.
Everything. So this was my understanding, that God is using him to speak to me.
Okay.
And also God was true. I believed he was real, but I always felt like I needed him in my life for me to mature in God. So now that thing happened, and today I can say that God did it so that I can detach myself from
a human
man,
being.
yes, and dwell in him,
and not trust or hold on or have hope, put your hope on a human being.
Yes.
Because a human being is for a season, anyone can be used
Yes.
by God,
Yes.
but it doesn't mean that you need to rely on that
Yes.
certain person at all
Yes.
times, because you also need your personal relationship with God, where God speaks to you directly. You don't have to go via.
Exactly.
Okay. But it was just a moment, it was at that time, that season, that you didn't know God personally, for you to understand the relationship between you and him. Okay,
Correct.
I feel you.
Yes, so that's what was happening.
What made you, what made you to stay in the ministry still?
So what made me stay in the ministry was because I felt like this is, to be honest, I was doing much of the work in the ministry.
Okay.
So I was the one who was organizing counseling sessions. I was the one who was programming the pastor's programs where he needs to be. I was the one who was receiving money for the church.
Okay.
So basically, I was doing most of the things
alone,
yeah. So, and then there were also helpers, but I was receiving first-hand information from him.
Oh, okay.
Even from just the members. Everything has to come through me. He would just give instructions, doing this and doing this. And then now I was trying to, because I wasn't finding peace in the ministry. Now I was trying to pull out. So I had to surrender certain departments. Like, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to be doing this. You have to find someone else. And I only stayed with this counseling part because I'm the one who actually initiated it and everything. So he said, okay, you can stick with this one. But then now, that lady was now taking over everything that I was doing.
Okay.
So it now we started happening like as if it's a competition. You know what I mean? Like, I used to do this and then that. Then eventually he decided to introduce her. I'm in love. Someone stole my heart. Blah 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 blah. And people were congratulating him, and I had already known this whole story about them. So this other day they decided to hold a meeting. The time I spent time with my God, and I told them, you know what, I want to attend that meeting. I have to spend time with God. And then he tells me, I don't think like the God we worship in the church and the God you pray to will be angry if you attend a meeting and just for today you miss that time with him. I did not respond to him. I didn't attend that meeting. And
is the God that they are worshipping and the God that you pray to different?
I don't know. He had so much pride. Pride and arrogance. He had so much pride. I was amazed, I'm telling you. So after that, I did not attend that meeting, and I prayed that I was having encounters with angels, to be honest.
Mm.
That was a new beginning for me. Like literally, there was this other day, Yolanda, and one of the moments I saw a being in my room full of light. And I started crying. I didn't know what to say or anything. I started crying, and from that time until today, I still see angels when I pray in my room, even in this place. And there's just that's something that really shifted to a high level that time. I would pray for 5 hours without getting tired. I was enjoying, that moment that, yeah, he is real, he's there. And there's this man of God that I came across with the Holy Spirit led me to his sermon, and I started listening to them. I was healing and everything. It really helped me. And then the following day, I woke up, switched on my phone. I realized I was removed from the groups, because each time when I'm praying I switch off my phone, I was removed from the groups, and I just laughed. I said, wow, this, he has done it by himself. I really wanted to do it, but thank God he has done it by himself. So after a couple of days, he thought I would be very angry. After a couple of days, I sent him a message. I said, I saw you make some amendments on the groups, and I wanted to tell you that I have to step down from the ministry. I need time with God. Yeah, and so he's like, okay, thank you so much for being with us from the time it started to now. I really appreciate and wish you all the best and everything. And that also everything that I initiated in groups and what I deleted, and then I dissolved them and everything. Then he calls me, he's like, oh, why did you do that? You're not supposed to do that, because now people start thinking as if there's something that is happening in the ministry. And I'm like, wow, I didn't want to argue, but I was like, okay, you've got a wife, a girlfriend, whatever, fiance, whatever is happening, can do it, because she's already doing what I was doing. So why can't she do all those things? But I didn't tell them. I was processing in my mind. Okay, so I just let it be like that. Then the next thing, it was in October. No, before that, there was a time in September. There was a time he was the time I told him that I want to visit. So they planned that he must leave the city and he must go and hold a conference in Joburg. So he was planning to go to Joburg. And the day I was praying, Yolanda, I was literally praying. Like my moments now with God. God tells me, send this money in your account to him. I was very angry.
Send this
money in your account to him. I was very angry, like literally angry. God is saying, no, send it to him, send it to him, send it to him.
Is it your own money?
Yes, it was my own money.
So you're just sending it just for jail?
Yes. So I sent it to him, and then later, after you received the acknowledged, I even had a dream whereby it was so it's like I was honoring that moment of him leading me to the Lord. And then now we departing, like, I'm done, this is now yours. So I thank God for what you have done, but this is now what I give you to just say thank you. So that's what happened. These are the things that I still learn even now. When you are now into ministry, there's so many eyes that are looking up to you. You understand? And now, whatever you are doing, the actions, they think is right. Because some of the people in the church, they don't even read the Bible. I wasn't reading the Bible in Rwanda. But it got to a point whereby I needed now to seek for the truth, so that when I go to a church, when they say that in the first chapter of Genesis, they say it was Adam and Eve created, I'll say no. Because that's when God was creating the earth. You understand? So I have to know the word. For me, as an individual, so that when I'm going out there, I'll know what is right and what is wrong. So it was all those lessons that I had to go through myself. And I really thank God that happened, because even until today, I think I was still going to be attached to him. and it was going to destroy.
We're not gonna know God for yourself personally.
Yes.
You needed to go through that journey so that you
Yes.
can see the difference between the love of God and the love of man.
Yeah, true.
Okay.
I'm telling you, it was, today when I look at it, actually I was under a very dangerous covering. I promise you, I was under a very dangerous covering, and certain things also delayed in my life, especially my deliverance, because I got converted through him, and then that happened while God was still cleansing me. The blood of Jesus is still cleaning me, and then that now comes in. So it's more
like manipulation.
That was what was happening, especially with my mind. Like literally, that's what was really going on there. And I have really, really come to know God for me. I tell you, I even know why I should pray. I even know why certain things. There are some things that I have to literally ask the mountain to move, because I know that the blood of Jesus Christ speaks. Where my name is, it speaks louder, and everything has to bow. Now, I wake up and I call upon the name of the Lord. And whatever it is, it must leave, because there is an altar in my room that is praying. The angels are there also praying. I know the truth. I have come to know the truth. Even if I'm still learning, I have come to know the truth, and I know how sweet. This is what Sis Pam told me the other time. She said you have to taste God on your tongue. Yes. I got to that point. Today there's no human being that can come from whatever planet to tell me God is fake. The Holy Spirit is fake. Jesus Christ is fake. I have myself. I think I've touched him. I don't know what other way to say. I have really touched him. I'm telling you, I have touched him. And sometimes when I say it, I sound crazy.
Of course, for someone else,
yes,
it will sound crazy, like how do you touch God?
Yes.
But you have your own explanation on how you touched God, or how God touched you.
Yes.
Because of the presence of God that you felt, in your time with Him.
I'm telling you, and I have learned so much, like literally so much, and I can feel it when I'm away. And also with this whole experience, it gave me peace of no rushing for marriage. Like I have so much peace, Yolanda, and I went into a covenant with God regarding marriage. He will bring that man at the right time, but I pray for him. I pray for him, and I'm not in a hurry. And I asked God to literally train me to be a mother, to be a wife, to be me, and to also train me for His purpose. And I have made a decision, Yolanda, when I have my own kids, I have to be the one to minister to them first, not the Sunday school teacher. Because the word, sometimes, this is also one thing that I learned from this whole experience. How do I even know that that man of God was truly saved? You understand? So, trusting someone to teach you the word, sometimes can be dangerous, because you don't have that assurance how they actually saved. But when you really seek God, He does train you. I can say this many times. If you really say, God, train me, He does. He trains you. Right now where I am, God told me to buy all the versions of the Bible. I'm only left with 3. Like literally, when He gives me a word from this, I go and read it from this until certain version will help me understand. Then I will know that He has spoken. This is what I need to do. I need to wait. Was it yesterday? There was waiting for a confirmation for something, and then I had a dream where I was just saying the word grace. And when I woke up, I claimed it. I said, Lord, you have answered for sure. Now I'm just waiting for that time to really celebrate whatever you have granted for it to come to pass. So I really love the Lord, and it has given me assurance that my country is for sure heaven. It is, I'm telling you, it is. And sometimes I cry and I say, the day that we shall meet the Lord, there will be so many things we are still going to learn in heaven, because we obviously we won't know what this is, but He's going to teach us. This is this, this is that, this is that. We'll still go there and learn certain things. But that having that assurance that He is there, honestly speaking, it's a major thing whereby man is just out of you. And I realized I was looking for also, what is the word in English? There's a void that I had, and it wasn't occupied fully by Him. There's a space in man's heart that is just for Him, like for Him to literally comprehend there, like sit there, you know? But no, we cannot comprehend it because we don't know. So the word say we don't know what it is. But when you literally dwell before Him and you find Him and He sits there, He occupies that seat as the King Himself. There's nothing that will be presented to you on earth that can ever give you that fulfillment of peace like His. It just becomes, you know, sometimes I go on my knees, like literally I lie on the floor here, and everything that you see around in this house, I know that I'm going to leave it. But His presence is something that even if I'm under the bridge today, I can still seek for.
You carry that presence.
Yes, I can still, and I will know that even if I'm under the bridge, no matter, even if the devil is walking on top of the bridge, as long as He's present there, I'm untouchable.
Sure.
So it has given me that
sense of peace.
Yes, so much. He really takes care of me. I don't want to lie. He takes care of me. There's so much strength. So basically that's it about the story, guys. What I can say is that if you're newly covenant, it is good to have a spiritual mentor, but don't tell them everything about yourself. Find time, seek God for you. He will appear. You know, I used to have so many questions personally to say, why does God speak to other people and never speaks to me? But there was a day He spoke and He confirmed, and it gave me so much assurance and love and peace. You know, when you have someone that you can call to give you money, that I knew that I can call upon His name, and then there will be that confirmation. And you know, also God, you must know that you cannot think more than Him. We actually carry maybe 2% of thinking capacity of Him. So he knows everything, like literally knows everything. So when you just give your thoughts to Him, this ABCD, he will show you, like literally. I can't emphasize it, you know, like, but He's there. So just tap into Him, dwell into Him. He will transform you. He's truly a friend that can never leave you, even at the mall, anywhere you can just call upon Him. And yeah, that's about it, guys. I can't talk much, otherwise I can stay here even forever. I'm telling you, I talk and talk.
Yeah. Like, I'm just like everyone. Like, I'm also watching and listening.
Yeah.
It's like this is all yours. Like the stage is yours. And I'm listening because it's been long.
Yes.
You know, and hearing all of this now, it's a wow.
It is.
It's a wow, and hearing everything till the end, you know, where you see, you hear about the love part, the confusion, the brokenness, and the healing. Okay, the hatred and the healing part, and now I believe you're completely healed. I believe
so
you're
much.
completely healed. So now, the one that knew you before you were formed in your mother's womb,
Yeah.
you know, now you understand now that whatever happened during the process, God knew it and He knew the outcome because He trusts you. But you needed to be pruned,
Yes.
you know.
Yeah.
And the pruning part is very helpful, is very painful.
It is.
Be part of what you have experienced and learning and seeing God differently, you know, each and every day through other people's journeys. You know, sometimes we learn not only for what we experience but for other people as well, from other people that other people's journey, you know, and that's what is it all about, you know, for us to share our stories and learn from each other. So thank you so much. And she is another YouTuber, so that's why she carried the whole thing on her own.
Yes, guys, you can search for me. I am a wonder channel, so that's how come the name came about, because I feel like I've learned a lot so far, and in me there is a wonder, and in you there is a wonder, and Yolanda is also a wonder. So that wonderness must come out, show it to the world, regardless of the bruises, regardless of whatever you are battling right now. But there is that the one, you know, when God lives in you, there are capabilities of you that can, when you do certain things, even yourself you are surprised, like, did I really do this? Did I even say this? That's where the wonderness comes from you. So yeah,
Thank you.
it's a pleasure. I'm actually looking forward to more episodes. Yeah, I'll be on your channel. No, definitely. I've got so many things to share with you guys, and it's all grounded on Christ. I've been through the most, but He lives.
All right. Enjoy. Keep on sharing. Leave that comment and like. And we love you.
Bye, guys. Subscribe.